Hello, hello, hello. Yeah, today was not a very good day in the life of Southampton Football Club. I don't know what the format of this video is going to be because, again, it's not really like I want to do just a play-by-play of the match, like a play-by-play review of the Southampton against Leicester game. But at the same time, I want to talk about some of the things that happened. So let's start at the beginning of the game. I actually went to this game, so that's why I'm able to give probably a more in-depth review of how the crowd reacted, stuff like that. I think Southampton had a great match. Like, I'm putting that out there. I think we played fantastically well. I don't think we deserved to lose. I don't think we deserved to even draw. I think we deserved to win this game, and we didn't. And we didn't draw. We lost the game, and obviously anything I say can't change that. But in my opinion, we deserved to win the game if it weren't for one stupid decision, which we'll get onto later. Right. So straight off the bat, the 4-4-2 formation worked so well today. We had Shane Long and Danny Ings up front, which meant we had just so much pace. El Yunusi starting, he had so much pace. It's amazing. Redmond and Bertrand, fantastic game. They were causing Leicester so many problems. Leicester didn't have Vardy. I guess that worked in our favour because their strongest counter-attacking link was gone, which meant they hardly got any chances in the first half, whereas we should have taken a couple at least. And we had so many corners. We had 10 corners in that game, but we didn't do anything with them. But yeah, Bertrand and Redmond had a blistering game. They played really well. Lamina played fantastically in the middle of the park. Højbjerg played really well to a point. Vestergaard looked solid at the back, maybe a couple of mistakes, but that's fine. Cedric looked quiet. I guess El Yunusi played well, but he was he was fast and whatever. But he didn't get the ball that much, which was a shame considering we made a big deal out of him starting. McCarthy didn't really have much to do. A couple of routine-ish saves. Probably could have done better with the final goal, but let's not go into that now. And yeah, I feel like we played so well in the first half. We deserved a goal, and oh well, nothing can be done from that. We tried our best. Leicester just plays so far, play so deep that we couldn't get any shots away, and that's fine. But it definitely set the tone for the match. It meant that Leicester had to completely change their way of playing, and we should have capitalised on our attacking prowess, because as it came into the second half, that didn't happen. Now, second half. Ryan Bertrand, who has been playing fantastically all game. Wow, he did so well. And well, first of all, I've got to give it to to Mr. Man himself, Mr. Pierre-Emile Højbjerg here. He did really well to get that cross in. I think it was Ings or Long who fell over and missed the ball, but I feel like that distracted the defence enough. Bertrand running towards the box, smashes it left-footed past Schmeichel. A brilliant goal, and I got so happy. I get happy when Saints score, but I'd never got this happy, and I think it was the fact that Bertrand scored a goal. It was a good goal. We deserved the goal, and obviously just being part of the stadium atmosphere, probably go a bit mental. But yeah, it was good and thoroughly deserved in my opinion. We saw some really good passages of play in this half, and we had a few dodgy moments, I guess, with defence in the first half, but some really good challenges by people like Hoot and Lamina to get us out of trouble. And in the second half, that kind of continued. We saw some good defending by Lamina, Højbjerg playing well, and then yeah, after Bertrand's goal, 4 minutes later, they score, and it really came out of nothing. And I think it was a really soft goal to concede, just to turn in the box and shoot. And I don't think McCarthy could really do much about it. It was too close to him, and the dragged shot, it was weak, but it was enough. And I don't fault McCarthy. I fault the defence for not closing down the ball better. And then after that, for some reason, we got desperate, and that's the problem. We had been playing up until our goal really well. After Bertrand scored, we switched off. We were too confident, and that's how they got the space in the box to score. But then we got desperate, and we hadn't been desperate when we were drawing 0-0. So I don't see why we were desperate when we made it 1-1. And you can see the desperate from Højbjerg, who's had a fantastic game up until this point, and now I hate him. Yeah, so he managed to capitalise on a loose clearance, I think, and he managed to run through defenders. He had plenty of opportunity to shoot, and that's, looking back on it, that's my main thing. I don't know why he didn't just try and shoot. As he's entering the box, there's two players closing him down, and there's a slight nudge on the back. I can't remember who it was. I think that if Højbjerg had gone down there, it probably wouldn't have been given as a dive. It would probably been a free kick rather than a penalty, but in my opinion, he should have gone down there if he wasn't going to shoot. He then enters the box and dives. When we're in the stadium, from our vantage point, from all around the pitch, I've seen so many testimonies to this from other fans online and in person. It looked a stonewall penalty. Obviously, we can't see it from close in, and unfortunately, the referee had such a good point of view from here that there was nothing we could do, and I don't know why Højbjerg went down. He should have shot or stayed on his feet because he'd got past the player. It's just a bit stupid in my opinion, and I think it's just because he's not fast enough, and he thought he wouldn't be able to reach the loose ball, and so he went down. But he was ordered a yellow card. You don't need to be that desperate in that situation. We're still drawing. We're back on the front foot. We've been on the front foot since they scored. We didn't need to do that. And obviously he gets sent off. I do think it's a soft red card because I like I say, I think there was a little bit of contact. He just took too long to go down and he made a meal of it. And really, yeah, he should be sent off, but it is soft in my opinion. So if anyone out there wants to be like, no, Tommy, he deserves to get the red card. Yes, he did. Like, I'm not saying he didn't. I just think it's soft. And that, unfortunately, that desperation there set us up for the end of the game, where we really went under the cosh of it towards the end. We still played some attacking football, but there was no one up there. Long was tired. Austin's not fast enough. We had to play one up front rather than two, which just meant we had no attacking threat because we put on Oriol Romeu, which to be honest, I think we probably could have put on another attacker, but to be honest, we don't have many strikers, so we couldn't really do that. Anyway, yeah, we put on Romeu and yeah. Harry Maguire. How can Harry Maguire score from outside the area, nutmegging two of our players? I don't know. And we just fell asleep. We had three players closing down the ball to the left-hand side of the box, and that just left Maguire completely free. I mean, fair play to Maguire. It was a good goal, and he's in my fantasy team. I'm kind of happy he scored. I just wish it wasn't the winning goal that he scored. But the fact is, his shot wasn't powerful. It wasn't a powerful shot at all, and it went through two of our defenders' legs, which just wrong-footed McCarthy. He wasn't ready to be diving for that ball because of the defenders, and McCarthy's positioning wasn't great. Like in that situation, I think they were all just tired, and because of the 10-men situation, and it's just typical Southampton that it happens in stoppage time, and we saw that so many times last season. I think we've lost 24 points from an attacking situation from a leading situation. 24 points. That's more than any Premier League team in the past year. And it's typical Southampton. We can't be doing this. And unfortunately, you have to fault it to one player's decision. And I love Højbjerg, and he was really good in the game, bar a pretty weak shot from outside the area that went quite high up in the air. And he was really good. He was really solid. He didn't need to make that decision, and unfortunately, I have to fault our result to him. Obviously, at the time, I thought it was John Moss who was being, as usual, a shit referee to Southampton. I'm just putting that out there. He wasn't very good this game either, but he got that decision right. That's all that matters at the end of the day. But it's all Højbjerg's fault, and I don't like saying that, but it is, and we need to make that a thing. Our team have done a couple of things that we're really not used to in the last couple of games. Højbjerg diving today. We've never been a diving team. We've been a time-wasting team, but never a diving team. And time-wasting is fine when the ball's on the pitch. And last week, we turned into a rash tackling team against Everton because we couldn't contain them. We've never done that. I feel like the team are being really, not spontaneous, but spontaneous in a bad way. They're just reacting to things irregularly, and it's not working. And we need Hughes to set out some regularity in the team. Be like, this is what you need to do. You need to stick to this. Otherwise, we're just going to be basically becoming a new team every single game, and nothing's going to come of it. We're just going to be losing in different ways every single game. We've only got 1 point in 3 games. This is the best fixture list to start a season we've had in years, and yet we've only got 1 point. We've got a couple more games that look all right. We're playing at home to Brighton. We're playing away to Crystal Palace, where we should be getting points. But I'm not sure we're going to do it because of how irregularly we've been playing at certain points in the game. I will admit the first half and the beginning of the second half, we played really good football, near constantly, and it paid off, at least to begin with. So just keeping it the same, keep the same style of play. Don't introduce these weird individual player things that happen, like the rash tackling, the and diving. It's not Southampton's way, and that needs to be knuckled down. Obviously, like, a player has to do some unique things in a game, otherwise there will be no surprising attacks, no bits of like genius to open play up. Nothing like that will happen, but we need to stamp it out now before it gets too late in the season where it just happens all the time. So that's my reaction to Southampton's game against Leicester, where we lost 2-1. Very disappointingly. I'm very cross, very sad, very angry about that. Nothing can be done. I'm looking forward to next week where we're playing against Crystal Palace. I won't be able to watch the game, but I will. I'll come back to you, I think, in like 3 days after the match to watch it, and then I will give my feedback on it, because I'm going to be in France. They don't have the rights to stream the games over there, but yeah, that's my reaction. Let me know what you guys thought of the match down below, and I'll see you guys very soon, as in next week, or just like 10 days time, I think. Yeah, 10 days time. If you enjoyed, like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys next week. Come on, you Saints, please don't let me down again. Please. Bye.